welcome back to the channel. So on this episode I want to talk about first impressions of the veteran Patton. Big shout out to eRides where I got this wheel from. Use my discount code if you want to do that, gives you 5% off, gives me a little bit of money back towards the channel. But anyway, first impressions. So far I haven't done a huge amount of riding on it yet, but I've done about 30 miles street riding and about 30 miles last night on a off-road trail. And I must say, I'm blown away by the Patton. So my EUC history is, I currently own a veteran Sherman Max. I've had a Big Ode Master, Big Ode RS19, back in like the V10F, and I've tried an S22 and various other wheels. So I've got probably the S22 and the Master to compare this to, but build quality first of all. First impressions is that the bit like the Sherman Max, the Patton, and from what I've seen of the Sherman S, it's 100% solid wheel. This thing is literally steel built like a tank, like you know and love from Liebherr. You know, trolley handle is really good. It's at the back, but like unlike the RS19, it's not all over the place. It's solid and you can control the wheel really well. In terms of looks, I love the looks. I love the fact that it's got these grab handles as well. It makes it really easy to get in and out of the car. It's not a light wheel by any means, but it's still very liftable, and because of the suspension, you can kind of bounce it up and put it into the back of the car. What else can I say? So my initial test on the video that you'll see here is me riding the Cambridge busway, which was nice and open and stuff like that, allowed me to sort of open it up a bit. It was the first time I've ridden the Patton, and I must say, literally, usually it takes me a little while to adjust to a wheel, get on, all that sort of good stuff. No time at all, literally jumped on, and within a couple of minutes I was already at 33 miles an hour without even trying. This thing has got unbelievable torque, and I would personally say it's got more torque than both the Master and the Sherman Max. My own personal opinion, you may not agree with that, but from my impressions, this little 16-inch wheel and the sheer power of the motor in this thing is bonkers. For sheer power, it's phenomenal. So I think I reached about 33 miles an hour. Back down on that, it had more to give. It had a lot more to give, not even a little bit. It just, like, I wasn't even trying, and it would just wanted to go. It's stable at high speeds. What you don't see in the video is actually on the way back there was some high crosswinds, which I had to slow down on because that was just nuts. But normal conditions, everything else, this thing is solid. It's strong. It's at high speeds. It's stable. A bit like the Sherman Max. It just sticks to the road. So that's really good. I'm in two minds about the pedals. I like the pedals. The fact that this ratchet system, I think that's great. I'm not convinced by the actual spikes on the pedals and stuff. So at some point I may change these to eRides pedals, which personally I think are the better pedals. Same with the Goody ones. I like those ones because of the proper spikes and stuff like that. So that might be a future upgrade. The other thing to note is there's not a lot of room on the sides for pads. You can get pads on there. I've got front and rear on there, and obviously you've got a little foot lift pad that's already built in that you can adjust up and down. So that's good. And then you just adjust your pad. So, but there's enough room on there. It's just sometimes it's a little bit tight. So if you're a bigger rider, you might struggle with that a little bit. I'm reasonably sort of short. I'm 81, 82 kilos and stuff like that. So I'm riding the 66-pound suspension, which is the kind of the highest suspension that's out there at the moment. I've done nothing to the suspension. I've not adjusted it at all. I went on there, and for me, it was perfect. We done a 30-mile off-road trail last night, and I didn't feel a thing. It was like, this thing is like riding a magic carpet. It's the only way to describe it. It's like all the shocks and stuff that I would get in my knees and my legs, pardon me, and my back on the Patton. I don't feel that at all. The other stuff on there is like in terms of, I mentioned torque, but like we went up, I would only describe as a hill about that high. Injury from last night, big gash on a bit of wire last night, holding onto a fence. So, but a hill like that, and the Patton just flew up there. Like didn't even break a sweat getting up there. This thing for off-roading is fantastic. The knobbly tyre I absolutely love. I love it on the it's slightly different, I believe, from the Sherman. The Sherman's got a Kendra. I'll need to check what this one is, but it's a knobbly tyre. Just needs to wear down like the middle bit, to be honest, in order to get the best out of it. But it's brilliant. You know, it grips, it gets really well, and even on roads it's absolutely fine. So I like that. I'll need to probably get some sort of seat or 3D printed thing on the back so I can sort of sit down on it. But to be honest, with the suspension, even on the 30 miles, I didn't really feel like I wanted to or needed to, whereas the Sherman Max, we were going on long journeys like that, I need to sit down. So I've got the seat on that one. Screen is Leap Kim. It's a black and white one, but it's very visible. So even at night, it's absolutely fine. And the light is really good. So we was out until sort of near on 12 o'clock last night, and the light shone up the road. So again, you will not have any problems with that. It's a really good light on the Patton. Yeah, I mean, in comparison, I think for say something like the Max I felt was too tall a suspension wheel, and I really struggled to get on and off. I love the wheel, but it just wasn't for me. This one, the pedals are high enough, obviously, for the suspension, but it's so easy to get on and off this thing. It's really easy. The comparison for me would be both that and the S22. I feel both of those, the suspension, whilst were okay, they felt more clunky just because of the different type of suspension. They're kind of more spring, whereas the Patton is oil-based kind of suspension that you get on like Suron bikes and things like that. It's brilliant. It's smooth, soft, and cushiony. It's lovely. Me, and we mentioned on the ride last night, any new wheels now, suspension is the way to go. If I didn't have my Max, I would probably have a Sherman S. this is now my go-to wheel at the moment, my trail wheel and my normal wheel, unless I'm going on really long rides. The one thing I will say, we went out for 2 comparisons: street road riding for about 30 miles, approximately doing 30 miles an hour and over. I done 30 miles and I got down to about 57-58%. On the off-road, same sort of distance and about same sort of percentage, about 59%-ish. So, you know, you're probably looking at a comfortable 40-mile wheel if you really want to do crazy stuff and you want to do off-roading stuff. I think you'll be fine at 40 miles. Don't expect to get huge range out of this thing, and you obviously want that buffer at the bottom, that you're not like draining it all the way down to the bottom before it does push back and stuff like that. So just bear that in mind. That's not what it's for. That's not what I got it for. It was purely for that suspension off-road. I can go on my trails and not think about, like, you know, the uncomfortable sort of way of riding and things like that. My Sherman at the moment is my long distance, go out for the weekend and, you know, do lots of other stuff. So really good. Again, first impressions only. I will do a full review of this as I kind of ride it more. I want to put at least 100 miles on before I do it. It's only, like I said, I'm up to about 60 miles at the moment, so it's very new. It's only a couple of days old, already dirty, yay. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy this video. If you do all the lovely stuff, like, share, subscribe, and yeah, keep it here for more Patton stuff and more unicycle stuff, as well as all the other stuff I do. So thanks very much for watching and the support, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.